what you want to say to become inspired in your life, to have all of your thoughts break their bonds, is this: what I desire, which is aligned with Spirit, is on its way.
Dr. Wayne Dyer, best-selling author and America's foremost spiritual guide and mentor, returns to public television to share his 6 remarkable steps for living an inspired life.
And I'd like to suggest to you that inspiration is not something that comes and goes. It's not something that you have one moment and then in the next moment it disappears. And this is a whole new look at inspiration.
Along with powerful wisdom teachings to unleash your own inspiration, you'll meet 4 individuals whose lives have personally inspired Dr. Dyer.
So becoming inspired is really about changing your awareness of yourself.
Now, join Wayne Dyer for an extraordinary presentation that promises to transform your life when Inspiration, Your Ultimate Calling, airs next.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here. Back on PBS with a brand new special on Inspiration, Your Ultimate Calling. There'll be a lot about inspiration here tonight. Inspiring people, inspiring events, how to live an inspired life, how to attract spirit back into your life. Lots of things that are going to be very powerful for you. I encourage you to stay with it and call everyone you know and tell them to watch. We need more inspiration in this world. People that have inspired me have been, my children have been a great inspiration to me. I have 8 of them, 6 daughters. Yes. And 2 sons. And back in the 1960s, when I was studying for my doctoral studies in Detroit at Wayne State University, I used to listen to music, and a group of kids came over to this country from a little town just outside of London called Liverpool. Some of you may have heard of them. And they used to sing a song, the Beatles did. It was called Will You Still Want Me? Will You Still Love Me? What? When I'm 64, right? And I used to think at that time in my 20s that I didn't really understand that song. Didn't think it would have any meaning at all. I thought no one even ought to be allowed to live that long. So it just didn't resonate to me. But then, lo and behold, it happened to me. Turned around and 64 was here. And I wasn't able to be with my children at the time of that birthday. I was speaking in Durham, North Carolina that night. So I got a package from them with a wonderful card in it for me. And I thought, you know, maybe all of this work that we've done with these children, with my wife and I, and trying to teach them about spirit and higher consciousness and loving and being close to God and spirit, was coming true, because they sent me this beautiful card. It said inside of this birthday card is a very special message from God. And I opened it up and it said, see you soon. Happy birthday. So, there it is. And my children have been a great source of inspiration to me. They have given me some of the best material I could ever have. I can remember one morning, I was making waffles for them. And I heard my my daughters talking to each other, and they were doing very slow, and I had what I thought was really important things to do, and I encouraged her and all of them to, speed it up a little bit. Let's go. We've all got to get into the car. We've got deadlines. We've got to get to school. I've got to get to work. I'm a prophet. I have to go think and walk the beach. I get paid by the thought, you see. So I raised my voice a little bit, and I said something, and my daughter Serena took umbrage at what I had said, and I said, "Come on, let's go, get working, let's go, move, come on, I want to get to school, we've got to get you to school." And she just stood up, and she put her hands on her hips and looked at me and said, "I wonder what all those people would think of Mr. Positive if they could see him here this morning." She turned around and looked at her sister, Summer, and said, "Would you buy a book from someone who yells at a 10-year-old child?" I write those down when they... So anyway, my children have always been great inspiration for me, and great teachers, and keep me very close to the ground and very humble. I want to begin this program on inspiration with a story about attitude and belief, because basically the idea of living an inspired life is one in which our attitudes become one of being in harmony with our source, with spirit. Not too long ago, I was honored by Yeshiva University, the Einstein School of Medicine, with a wonderful tribute. It was called the Einstein Award, that is given to people whose work exemplifies some of the sort of philosophical views, rather than just necessarily the scientific views of Albert Einstein. And I was invited there, and I gave a lecture to the staff and did rounds and spent a day there at this wonderful School of Medicine in a psychiatric hospital in New York. But I felt that when I got there that maybe it would be important for me to explain to them about Einstein's theory of relativity, which I'm sure many of you watching don't really completely understand. That everything is really relative. I mean, there was a great Chinese philosopher who once said, his name was Lao Tzu, he said, "I went to sleep and I dreamt that I was a butterfly. And then I awoke. And now I don't know. Am I a man who was dreaming that he was a butterfly? Or am I a butterfly dreaming that I'm a man? It could be either way." And Einstein said, "It's all relative. It's all relative." And I thought about that, and I thought perhaps I could help these doctors and everyone to understand, since they were working at a place named after Dr. Einstein, I could explain to them about how to apply this theory. And I have a theory about relativity that goes like this. All things being relative, in a bowl of soup, this is a lot of hair. What do you think? Really? You understand? If you were in a restaurant and you ordered a bowl of soup and you got this much hair in it, you would call the waiter over and you would say, "Excuse me, what? That's a lot of hair." That's the way I look at it. All right? It's all relative, and it's all how you believe and what you believe. As we move into this idea of inspiration, I'd like to suggest to you that you have a mind that is open to everything and attached to nothing. It's not a program that's based on any religion or any particular view of spirit or God or soul. We can call it what we want. We all originate from the same source. This source acts in a certain way, is constantly creating. And whether you're a believer in one particular religious persuasion or another,